Da do 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 do. Dana X Mirajo or can Dan marry Mirajo? These are two antagonists from the anime Reiki of Kings. And they're able to get a redemption arc much later. But the whole point is, Mirajo is possibly and likely 10 or 20 years older than Dana, which I think, by the power of Christ and all the love thing, if they're able to put enough effort and love into it, we all support it. Everyone else just says they don't. I'm sorry, they're very scared, and this does not go, for some reason, does not go against tradition, which dates back hundreds of years, and great. Also, this is what makes it a bit more controversial. First is first. The whole setting of this anime takes place in medieval times, which anything preventing these two getting married has to do with age is immediately, by default, loses its argument. Because most people back then did not survive past 30. In Mirajo's case, well, we're not going to count that because she got revived twice. So I don't think she even has an age anymore. But I suppose if she's human enough, she'll finally grow old. So yay! Also, for the argument, is Dana below 18 on that? During medieval times, it was very common for everyone between 10 and 15 to get married. I think, honestly, Dana's mother was shot, but like she's obviously gonna work through and how we can be more ready for it. By thinking about a year or two afterwards, he'd be more ready for this engagement. Also, I don't think, I think because it's not confirmed if they have a good plumbing or sewage system. Yeah, they could get married as young as this. As this sort of thing can cause people to actually die before they even reach the 30s or 40s. Yeah, this is when we're talking about third world countries, and this is definitely not talked about, which makes a whole thing controversial. And apparently this is died down just so like kids can have a longer life. Don't have to worry about marriage and having kids because they might die out sooner. Yeah, very sad. I don't know why there's this much aggression surrounding either. Alright, next one. Science versus religion. Truth, or which is more true? For reality. Well, reality and logic is more science. If we're talking about faith and the creation and everything, that's more religion. But which is more true? For me personally, it's just more half-half. Like, I see science and religion both, like, admit, like, okay, there has to be some kind of... Okay, I don't know if it's a machine or actual some extraterrestrial being or something, but someone created the universe, that sort of thing. Now, for science, this is more a very, very small particle that caused the Big Bang to happen. And for many religions, it was done over the course of a few days. But the thing is, wait for Krishnamurti, he calls every human to be perfect. The thing is, our mistakes are, he's not counting the mistakes. He's just counting the fact we're alive, we're able to walk, eat, sleep, that sort of thing. That's what perfection is to him, that sort of thing. But also, like, we can't really say for sure what exactly is a day to him, because, well, he has no beginning or end. So I highly doubt that he actually used the calendar while doing it. So who knows? So I don't know for sure, but it very could have been like billions of years by our standards. But I don't think anyone can fully say for sure until they go through Event Time Machine. But then it could be still like that because like they made all the calculations by doing this. So like it could be a billion years by math calculations, but it could really seriously just be like a few thousand years. So for me, where situations require logic and all that, yes, for science. Other stuff that makes absolutely just no sense and makes me want just like not feel great. Oh, I use faith for that. Alright, next one. Discrimination. I think it's very normal for anyone to discriminate. Also, we're talking about the skin color. Well, there's fear of both sides. For some reason, I still don't know how or why they cannot put this, but apparently there's some stupid story about some white men versus first. That's all. The whole thing is not completely true because like Christ is from the mid. At best is from Jerusalem or Israel, which is in the Middle East. So yeah, everyone there has like a kind of like a tan color, so they're not Caucasian at all. Okay, now we got that out of the way. apparently, everyone who's dark skinned, very specifically black or very dark brown, apparently they're cursed by some demons or something. So that's why a lot of people say they're afraid. And likewise, well, this is way more rational, makes more sense. But for slavery, despite being hundreds of years ago, a lot of people feel that sort of way to them. And unfortunately, this sort of violence and misunderstandings been carried through the generations for hundreds and hundreds of years. At least most of it has died out. However, we still have to deal with for regular people and police brutality, so definitely hope it dies out soon. Also, will this ever fully go away? No. My kids, I try not to think about anyone and just treat like, even when someone with high standards, a stranger is a stranger. I definitely try to be surprised to my as I can. If they're able to do like stuff that makes no sense, I have admiration for it, but unless I actually meet them in person, shake their hand, I have absolutely no respect for them. But I'm not gonna do any physical harm. Alright? Okay. Second, discrimination should be only done by children. Very specifically, everyone who's under 10 and under. Because, like, this is for all kids. They were brought into this world without their permission. They didn't even have permission back then. Which brings the whole thing of abortion. And, like, okay, when is the bit? Can we really kill out the child just because the mom is not ready? That sort of thing. So yeah, only they have only they should have the reason to discriminate. I'm sure we still have to have like at least 50 different talks. Okay, it works like this for this reason. If people just feel like this and try not to say this sort of thing, so they're not so offended, that sort of thing. But this is also why most people don't want to have kids. Because now we could do like 50 plus conversations explain what this is, which is why Steve Morales should be brought back to school. Will it be? I have no idea. Okay, number 4. Wow, that was just 4. Good versus evil. But first is first. We're talking about the spawning of saying that no. I like more of the phrase. Okay, love is everywhere. Oh, and all is in God's will. That sort of thing. So, yes, Satan is most definitely a helper of God. Okay, let's just get that through to everyone's head. Okay. So, despite how dark times lead, they do lead to good times. And I have more enough experience to say I definitely had some dark times for sure, but I can fully unfortunately say regrettably that there are some very positive times that only happen because of these dark times. And very specifically some of these dark times that actually made me feel comfortable to do stuff I never thought of doing. And that made me feel way more positive about the world, so yeah, I'm never going to feel great about it, but it is a big reason why that sort of thing should happen. Alright, last one, Rule 34. Oh no. What? If everyone makes it to Rule 34 around me, you know I'm fine for it. I think we'll read in the text for not just seeing the video or images about it. But I'm fine about it, and I may or may not occasionally just dabble in it. I think I'll talk about Nox about that later. Yes, I need that Nox. Nox tacos. But do I wish anyone who would get into it? But I certainly wish people would know more about like why is Rule 34 the way it is. I wish they would know about that. I always think it should be restricted, but I also think about like the 10, 20 years that actually can understand the logic that goes into it. And yes, there's people in their 50s and 60s that don't understand this stuff at all. So that's why I don't think it should be age restricted, because there are some people like very, very young that understand this at all, and there's some people that are very old, they're smart, but they won't understand this thing. Okay, think around with too much. So yes, it should not be ready mature because, well, I'm going to create a whole new range. Very specifically known as displaying that this is confusing, complex, all that, so people actually can understand this and like get more to that. But I think it might take a while. All right, I think that was the top 5. So yes, some people young and old may always agree with stuff. Some people can understand stuff like sorry this should, but they do. So alright. So I don't think I'm gonna do this for a while, but I will leave the link to some Minecraft game where I did this a bit more. Not as controversial, but I definitely did ramble. So you want to see that? The link to the playlist is the link in the description. Alright, bye everyone.